And welcome to a very special episode of Intelligent Ignorance. Yes, it's been a while since we've been around. I know this, you know this, we all know this. Us looking here at each other knows this as well. Hold on, let me get this together here. I don't want you to hear me twice.
Tape
It's bad,
delay.
it's bad enough hearing
That's
me
the tape
once. I don't
delay
want
for
you to
the
hear me
West
twice.
Coast. Tape delay
Exactly,
for the West Coast.
exactly. Got to know how to work that in for those folks. But today we have we're expecting to have a very special interview with a candidate for Wilmington's 6th District City Council seat, Mr. Josue Ortega. He's going to be with us today on Intelligent Ignorance, on the special episode of Intelligent Ignorance. Um, but one thing that we do want to talk about before we even get into the interview is the importance of voting, what you're voting for, how you're voting, and just all types of things that that go into it. Because the way I see it, and the way a lot of people see it, and it's not even really given to you in this way, the importance of local elections are probably of more importance, of higher importance than the general elections of like your president, things of that nature. Of course, when you're voting for the president, that is the biggest office, the highest office in the country. But when you're voting for your local elections, you're talking about people that affect you at where you live directly. And people don't understand that. And the turnout for local elections is way worse than it is for a lot of the general elections, presidential elections, and primary elections, and all those. Because what happens is the local elections and the local politicians, they don't get the exposure that somebody higher. So if you're voting for mayor of your city, you're going to see commercials and things like that. But you're not going to see commercials for your city council members or your treasurer or things of that nature. Um, so it's very important for those people to get exposure as well, and that's what we're looking to do here on Neutrals Radio, here on Intelligent Ignorance, is give those people exposure as well as anybody else that would need exposure, and get you well informed enough to make an informed vote on in Wilmington. September 15th is the day to vote. And without further ado, let me bring in the star of the show, Mr. Ryan Hunter, R. Hunter.
Man, I'm not a star. Somebody lied.
Hey
I'm
man,
just
you the star of this show.
man. The elections in Wilmington are super important, man, and I think that a lot of people really don't understand. There's so much hype about the presidential election, and I completely understand, given the climate of our society right now, why it's important. A lot of people, we saw our people come out when Barack Obama was a candidate and then to get him reelected. But it seems like we've been less educated on the importance of local government and how it impacts what we do day to day. So it's super important. Like you said, there's no commercials for city council. You're lucky if you get a pamphlet. You're probably going to see more of those signs on the side of the road that just says vote for this person. Looking at the State Department of Elections website, a lot of these candidates don't have any websites. There's nowhere that you can really find a lot about them on. So it's super important that we get these people in front of the masses and say, hey, what's your platform? What are you running on? And more importantly, how are you going to have an impact on this city? I'm a native of Wilmington. I grew up there. I spent majority of my life in Wilmington, Delaware. Uh, Traveled around the globe, but Wilmington's always home for me. And then there's so much of my family that's still in Wilmington. So even if it doesn't impact me directly, being that I'm no longer a Wilmington resident, it impacts my family, it impacts my friends. So it's super important that we get information out there about what's going on. The primary, September 15th, we are days away. We're getting close. And I think right now, especially where it's heating up in some of those districts and the mayoral race for Wilmington, some of the city council districts, these races are equally as important as picking the president because they have an immediate impact on what we do. We can see these people, we can touch these people, and more importantly, we can hold them more accountable than we can a president.
I would almost say it's for a Wilmington resident, it's almost more important because, like you said, you can see these people, you can impact these, you can interact with these people, and these people have a bearing on the day to day on your day to day life. They're making direct decisions which affect you immediately. The president may make a decision that affects you down the line, but your councilmen, your mayors, your everybody, all these people, your judges are making decisions that affect you immediately, and that's why this is so important. And Wilmington, as a Philadelphia resident, as a Pennsylvania resident for a majority of my life, and I have family and friends in Wilmington. The and I've worked in Wilmington. Okay, and actually I lived in Wilmington for a little bit
I
too.
was about to say you
So
lived there for a little while.
I forgot about that, but I did. I lived in Wilmington for a little while.
It's easy to
Um,
forget.
well, don't say that. Don't say that. I love Wilmington. But one thing I did notice about Wilmington, and maybe it's because it's a big city in a small state, um, is the politics, or maybe I was just very close to the politicians. The politics in Wilmington take a different tone in a sense. They are what you see. The, a lot of time, and everywhere you go, the people that run for office are from the cities.
Right.
But what I've noticed that these people that run for office, a lot of the people, not all of them, but a lot of people that run for these offices in the city of Wilmington, they know each other. They've known each other their whole lives. They know the people that are are already in office. You know what I mean? It's almost like I don't want to say it's a secret society, but it's almost like a closed society in the sense that you can get into. So it's not locked, but it's like, there's a circle. It's like you have your circle of friends. Wilmington has their circle of politicians that it's very, very open. They broadcast on TV, they broadcast on different things. I've been a part of the broadcast in the past, meeting a lot of people in the churches down there. Wilmington, it's a big city, has a small city feel in the small state. But a couple comments here coming in. Jeanette Bivens says Ryan Hunter for mayor.
No.
I think
I want no
she's
parts
talking
of
about
the
you.
I
She's
want
talking
no
about you.
parts of politics. No parts of politics. But I appreciate
Well,
the sentiments.
you might be disappointing some people because Aziza, I don't. I'm sorry, I don't want to mess up the name. Aziza, but Bakati, I'm sorry, but she says, Ryan, you need to run for office.
I truly appreciate the support, but I am definitely not throwing my hat in the ring anytime before 2024. So I don't want to put that Kanye feel out there. He said that he was running for president in 2020, and then he popped up on the scene and said he was going to do it. I definitely am working to make sure that I support everything that goes on in the city, being that I'm from Wilmington. But I'm so much more focused on Blue Demon athletics right now, and forcing some of the politicians to be a little more involved with what we have doing there. I want to see how they are going to impact things with the youth, which is definitely one thing that I want to talk with Josue about. I know it's a part of his platform, being that we know him a little closer than some of the other candidates right now. But I definitely want to see if we get an idea on what his platform is looking like for his district, especially with him being 6th district.
Absolutely, and so just like any other city, Wilmington is broken up into districts, and for people that may not know, excuse me, people that may not know, when you're voting for your city councilman in your district, as councilman or councilwoman, okay, you are essentially voting for a mayor of your area, and that's how you explained it to me. You're kind of voting for a mayor of your
Right.
area. This is the person that you can go to, complain about, or give kudos to of things that are going on in your area. Um, and again, I stress the importance. That's why this is important. These are people that you can get to, that you can reach out to, that have that should have your best interest at heart directly, directly. So, Brian, I'll let you speak on that, and I'll let you speak on that, and then I'll let you have the floor.
Well, I mean, especially right now here in Delaware with the elections coming up on the 15th, it's super important for everybody locally to get involved. There's some, obviously, our governor race is going on. A lot of people have not really paid much attention to the candidates out there. And it's, especially with our governor, it's super important. I do know that there's a lot of rhetoric around the state of emergencies and what's been going on in Delaware with the whole electoral process and how we're going to vote, the mail-in votes. If you have not already requested a mail-in vote, please make sure you do so. I want to say the website is ivote.com. And don't quote me on that because I don't have the information in front of me right now, but it's super important to make sure you get that information if you don't plan on getting out to the polls. Uh, the process is super easy. I just got my mail-in ballot, what, Friday last week. So I am preparing to make sure that my votes get in. Uh, I'm planning on doing the same in November for the presidential election, just to make sure that we get out there and vote. Please make sure you check the Department of Elections website. Make sure you are registered. Double check, triple check, make sure that you are clear to vote, because the process, especially in Wilmington, it's super important to get involved in these district races, the council races, the mayoral race. I know there's a lot of talk about what's going on in Wilmington, especially with Mayor Przicki and some of the real estate changes that have gone on in Delaware. And we've seen some of the, and I hate to label it as such, but it appears to be gentrification of our inner city, and it definitely is going to impact a lot of people. We see what's going on down in the riverfront area with the building, the expansion, the 76ers field house. All of these things come with a price tag, and in the city of Wilmington, the taxes, the property taxes, cover a lot of it. And when you start building up these properties that the longtime residents can no longer afford, you're pushing out our communities and bringing in a different class of citizen. And I think a lot of people really don't understand what's going on. So it's very important to make sure we're getting a mayor in the city of Wilmington that's going to have our best interests in heart for the people that are currently there, not for the future state. I think that they're looking a lot of about the future and not trying to bridge that gap between the present and what's going on in the future. So get out there, get educated on what's going to happen. Because again, if you don't vote, you don't have a voice. And I think one thing, especially for people that look like us, our voice hasn't been heard in so long. And it's important for us to make sure that our voice is heard, because we're an integral piece of the process. I know what I'm going to say is a little off topic because it's not about voting, but I just want to give a perspective. So last night, and Jay, I don't know if you watched any of it, but Brandy and Monica did a verses.
I
And
missed it. I
yeah,
wanted to see it, and I missed it.
look,
I wanted to be a part of that.
I'm gonna tell you right now, I was singing songs like it was 2002 all over again. But to get back to my point a little bit, afterwards, Swiss and Timbaland had a conversation on live, and they talked a bit about the numbers, and they did 1.2 million views just on Instagram alone. That doesn't count the Apple TV numbers. That doesn't count anything else. Swiss said the preliminary projection was that they did more last night for a Brandy and Monica versus than the VMA Awards.
Mm,
And
mm.
that's huge
Woo.
because the VMA Awards was a compilation of people.
Yes.
And to see two people from our history, uh, to see those two people go live on whatever platform you viewed them on. It just shows the power that we have in numbers. So
Absolutely.
we can come together for something like that, and we can change how we're viewed in some of these platforms. Uh,
Hmm.
MTV's VMA, when you think back to our younger times, that was huge.
Absolutely. Now, I don't want to. I don't want to stop you. I do want to stop you. We got Mr. Josue Ortega is with us right now. He is joining us here. The man of the hour, Mr. Josue Ortega, candidate
How?
for the Wilmington's 6th District City Council. How are you doing, good brother?
Hey, trying to make the prove a point out here. I'm out here campaigning. What I have to do in order to get the people to believe in what I want to do. It's been a struggle because of the COVID, but I appreciate you guys for having me. It's been, an awesome experience. I'm just out here trying to get these constituents to understand that we need more resources back into our community for our youth. We're losing our youth daily. It's sad out here. So, but yes, I'm out here doing my due diligence as a as a concerned citizen, trying to make a
And,
change in the community.
and as we can see, you're out in the streets right now as we speak. We see the sky behind you, the beautiful
Yes, sir.
Wilmington sky. One of the things that we're looking to do here with Neutrals Radio, and especially on Intelligent Ignorance right now, is we're giving a voice to the people that really are directly making a change. So the local politicians, they don't get the airtime a lot of times of the commercials and on radio and TV and all like that. But people still need to know what they're about, because people just go and they hit a button or they flip a switch and they don't know who they're voting for. So this is a chance for you and for other candidates to get their message out there and really let the people make an informed decision. We want them to make an informed decision. So and Mr.
Yes.
Ortega is here to do that. And so you have some ideas for the youth. Um, what kind of things are you looking to implement for the youth in Wilmington, especially in the 6th district?
Okay. So, first of all, as being born and raised in Wilmington, and knowing the capabilities Wilmington can be and what it used to be, um, I remember being able to go to Canby Pool. You know,
Right,
getting into that swimming pool that no longer exists.
right,
Boys and Girls Club on Jackson Street, another resources that I used to go to, which no longer exist. So
right,
yeah, one of the things that I want to bring back, and I feel as though that will make an impact for our youth is we need to bring back community centers back into into our neighborhoods. We lack of community centers, especially in my district, the most diverse district. Now, I would like to implement the a community center. Now, that community center will have, you know, tons of activities. Let's say from playing sports, basketball, from even up to video games. Something that entertain these kids instead of them being out in the streets doing things that really don't get them anywhere. So yeah, the type of activities I would like to bring up. You got a perfect guy right here, Ryan. He loves baseball. He's a sports guy. I would love to have him and educate some of our kids about sports. We have to get our kids involved some type of way. We have to reach to them. Generations change, so
right.
we got to start adapting to what these young adults are coming to be. So we have to adapt to what they like in order for us to, catch their attention.
Now, I know you talked a little bit about the youth and implementing some resources for them. And I know also in the 6th district, there's a good population that has reached that senior age.
Yeah.
There's a lack of resources out there as well. What can you talk about in implementing some resources for our seniors in the 6th district?
Okay, now I'm gonna be honest with you. There are resources out there, and I'm gonna be honest with you. There are resources out there. What's the problem is that these resources are lacking outreach,
Okay.
or it's a big lack of outreach. There's programs. Me working for the city of Wilmington and constituent services, um, I basically work, every complaint you can think of, I try to resolve it in a timely manner. So I know there's resources for seniors. Yes, there are resources. Let me give you a quick resource. Say, for instance, a senior's home is not well kept. They have a program in real estate and housing that what you do is you sign up. They give you a loan, and it's not a loan that you pay back unless you sell your home.
Okay.
Okay, these are things. See, you wouldn't know this until I said something, and that's what a lot of these programs out here are lacking, is a lot of outreach, because the resources are there. We just need to start focusing more on resources, like to have outreach, sort of like what I'm doing right now. I'm doing outreach for myself, basically for people can get to know me and get to know what I'm about and what I want to do for the 6th district. That's what these resources have to start doing, coming out here and let these people know, and let our seniors know, listen, we have these programs, did you know, and let them know that these programs do exist. And it's sad that they don't have that. It's a lot of more things that we can add though too. So
So I wanted to ask you: is there any way, like, so the program you just told us about that, about the housing and things like that? Are there ways that residents, Wilmington residents, can just go and find? Like, that's something I would never know about.
okay.
Like, how would I go and find out that type of information?
Okay, well, you can go to wilmingtonde.gov. When you go to wilmingtonde.gov, it'll come up with their webpage. Just go to real estate and housing, and that should give you every resource that they have. It should. And if they don't, you can feel free to give me a call at 576-3112. I work for the city of Wilmington. So I'm putting my number out there too. So you guys, or any seniors, or any, anything that they can think of, any issues that they have, they can feel free to give me a call too. It's 576-3112.
Absolutely, man. And well, first, like, again, I want to thank you for joining us. Give us that number again. What's it? 536.
No,
What is it?
576
Five
576
seven six
3112.
3112.
And if not, they can also call the 311. The 311 in Wilmington is working now. So once they call 311, you find all the information that City of Wilmington has to offer.
Man, okay. So we're talking with Josue Ortega, running for 6th district city council, for the city council seat. There is someone that that's occupying that spot right now.
Yes,
Um, what do you do? I think there are 4 people running, correct?
correct.
Okay.
Including me.
Why should the people of the 6th district vote for you? What are you going to do? To everyone has something that, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that.
Okay.
Why
Okay.
should why should my friends in the 6th district vote for Josue Ortega?
Okay. First of all, they vote for whatever their heart says. I'll put my platform out there, and I'll let people know what I am capable of doing and willing to do with my community. And let me put this out there first. To my opponents and to the incumbent, I salute them, because it's about being heard. Tiredness. You're tired of what's going on. It's time to make a change. So I want to say thank you to them to even coming up and looking for that leadership. So basically, let me get to the point. I'm a born and raised resident. You know, born and raised in Wilmington, 40 years of age. I'm here, and I know the capabilities Wilmington can be. Um, like I said before, I remember going to Canby Pool Boys Club. I even remember walking across town to Northside without even worrying about getting caught in crossfire or even being robbed. So those are things that really touched me and gave me the emphasis to run. Plus, I have kids, and I want a better quality of life for my kids. And at this moment, we don't have it. So what I want to do is work together. And I feel as though that working together, we can get a lot of things done. There's a lot of things I would like to implement. One of the things I would like to implement is the 3 C's. And what I mean by the 3 C's is community policing, which is a big factor in our community. We need back that community policing, because without the trust of our police, neither the trust of the police having with us, the community, there's nothing gonna it's nothing gonna happen. Nothing's gonna work. So we have to bring back community policing. The other C is curfew. I feel as though we need to implement the curfew for these young kids. Not forever, but until we have enough resources in our community so they have somewhere to lean on. And the other C would be cameras. I'm not talking about body cameras. I'm talking about cameras on poles. Where all the hot spots are at, or wherever the problems or a lot of issues are happening. I want to put cameras up because I feel as though the cameras make a big difference. But it all boils down to working together. Um, I can't stress it enough. I want to be your voice, but I also want you guys to be my voice. And also, when I know a lot of people know and realize that when these legislative bills are being passed, you hardly even know about it. Because why? It happens behind closed doors. I want to change that. When these legislative bills come to my table, I want to involve my community. I want to involve every civic association in my community. We all come together and we vote on it together. I won't vote on it. I will say my yes or no, and everyone have their yes and no say. Now, the whatever the outcome may be, if it's no, no it is. If it's yes, yes it is. And of course, we have to educate ourselves on this bill before we even think about passing it. So those are the things I would like to do. I'm saying I can keep talking on what I want to do and what I would like to do, but it all boils down with working together. That's what I want to do.
Well, so and we don't want to keep you out here away from getting out and touching people in your district. So, in conclusion, how can people, and we have the number on the screen, how can people find out more about your platform and what more information they can get before we go to the polls on September 15th?
Okay, so you can go on my Facebook page, which is Josue Ortega. Go on there and you will see all the platform. Anything you need to see, anything you need to know will be on that Facebook page. May it be my political page, may it be my web page, may it be donating, may it be any type of way. My information is on that Facebook page. And for people who want to get to know me personally, I have no problem with that, especially the ones from my district, which is the main thing I like to do because I'm not a camera type of person. I'm more of a up close and personal. That's the person I am. But, and they can give me a call at 897-0586. 897-0586. And I'm taking this personal. This is what I like to be. I like to be personal. This is what it's all about because I need to gain the trust from my constituents as well as I want to gain the trust from them. So that's my information. So feel free to give me a call, anyone. Not any time, but you can give me a call and I'll get back to you as early as I can. Because a lot of you know how this world is in this political world. And I want to stress it. I'm not a politician. I'm coming into this as a concerned citizen. A lot of people may say, "Oh, that's how they start saying." No, I'm straight. I'm integrity. I want to be your voice, and I want to make a real change, not word change, but action change.
Absolutely, absolutely. Well, so I want to thank you for being with us. I'm over here knocking stuff off my table here. I want to thank you for being with us on this special, very special episode and interview of Intelligent Ignorance, stressing the importance of local elections, getting people like you running for a city council seat, the opportunity to let people know what you are about. And we definitely appreciate that. And you have an open invitation to join us on Intelligent Ignorance at any time. We can always talk about issues or anything else that we talk about here, and I absolutely appreciate it.
I appreciate you guys for giving me the time. Ryan, thank you so much for the time, for the invitation. And also, don't forget, September 15th, vote Josue Ortega for the 6th District City Council, the choice for better change. And besides all that, we have to vote. We have to have our voices heard. It's time. We got to stop sitting back and complaining and not voting. We have to vote. We have to vote. I can't stress it enough, especially us, the minorities. We have to vote. It's important. All right. Thank you guys for your
Absolutely,
time, and thank you for everything.
absolutely. Thank you. That is
Thank you
Josue
so much,
Ortega
Mr. Ortega.
running for 6th District City Council. Thank you very much. We appreciate it. And and there you have it, man. I mean, that's what we need to do. We need to get these people that are running for locals, the smaller positions, the positions that you don't hear much about, the people that get reached out to when, case in point, when maybe your trash is not getting picked up, or maybe the street lights aren't coming on, and your block is dark, and that can be very dangerous. When there's some things that need to happen. There's people that you need to talk to. Your school districts in your district are important. The schools in your district, are they receiving the funding? These people will fight for the funding for your school district. It's very important, and like I can't stress it enough. I work in a school district, and I'm not even going to get into that business, but I see the results of voting and not voting for your local offices, and that's something that needs to change, and that's how it starts. So I talk to a lot of people that feel like voting doesn't matter. It starts locally, right? So let me say one thing, and I'm not, I can go on and on. I'm gonna let you have a few minutes before we get out of here. If you go into the voting booth, like some people say, I don't want to vote for Donald Trump, I don't want to vote for Joe Biden, right? They said, I don't want to vote for Donald Trump, I don't want to vote for Hillary Clinton. So they just won't go, right? That at least that's the reason that they say they won't go. Some people just don't feel like voting is part of their thing. But anyway, that's neither here nor there. There's an option when you go into the booth to vote for none of the above. That option is there. I've seen it on the ballot. None of the above. That means your vote will be counted. The politicians, the people, the parties know that you exist, right? They know that you exist, and that for whatever reason you didn't like both candidates, either candidate, right?
Well, from my understanding, if you click on none of the above, your vote goes to Montgomery Brewster.
Well, I mean, that's cool too. That's cool too. I mean, being that he's dead now anyway, you know what I mean? That might be better than the candidates that you have in your area. Who knows? But your vote gets counted. They know you exist, right? If you don't vote, why? Okay, if you don't, like, people say, I don't vote because they don't fight for my. Why would they care what you need if you're not even voting
if
anyway?
you don't voice your opinion?
You're not voting anyway. Think about that, folks. Think about it. If you're not voting, if I know that you're not a voter, why would I give a damn what you need?
And I appreciate something that Josue just did. He gave out his office number. He gave out his Facebook. He gave out his personal cell. And you're not going to get that from a president. You're not going to get that from a senator. You're not going to get that from a governor. But this is somebody trying to make an impact locally. So right there where he is, Canby Park area, Browntown area, those are the places that he's trying to impact. Bayard Square, Hedgeville, everything right out there is his base. And he's out there right now going door to door, trying to make an impact with those people and make sure that, one, they know he exists, which I can't think back at any point in time when I lived in Wilmington that an elected official went out and they canvassed door to door to say, hey, I'm the guy voting. I'm the guy that you want to vote for. Here's what my platform is. Here's how I want to help you. So I can appreciate his approach right now, especially with 2 weeks left to the election. He's out there, phrase boots to the ground. He's out there pounding the concrete, trying to get in front of his constituents. And he does some great work up in the constituents office. I've had to reach out to him in the past for some lawn care tickets for my property in the city, and we've had discussions, and he actually pointed me to a lot of good resources that I had no clue existed in the city of Wilmington. And helpful people like that. Like he said, he's not a politician. He's worked in the mayor's office, and it's always been in a capacity to help the people. So I think that he can come in and impact some change there in the 6th district and help spur some change in Wilmington.
Absolutely. And it's very important for you to know these people. Like you said, you were able to reach out to him and they gave you some resources that actually were beneficial to you. And, knowing these people in office can be beneficial to you. You know, it's like having a friend in high places. You understand what I'm saying? So, you know, get out and educate yourself. We're going to try to have more candidates on before the election on September the 15th. And we're going to do our best to get some candidates on. But even if we don't, go out and educate yourself. Find out what's going on. Call an officer too. Call a campaign headquarters. Whatever the case may be, whatever you need to do, make an informed decision. Do your best to make an informed decision because it's very important. And you know, it's cliche to say that the election is the most important election of our lifetime. We said that the last 3 elections.
The last 3 elections.
Last 4
elections.
Last four. So each from here on out going forward, every election is going to be the most important election of our lifetime. Just understand that. But understand that it's very important to vote and let your voice be heard. All right. And that's all I got to say about that. I think with all that being said, I think it's time for us to wrap this up. R. Dot, what you think?
Hey, man, take him out of here with the slogan.
Well, it's been a while, so I hope I can remember the slogan. But like I always say, man, I want to thank y'all for joining us here for this very special episode of Intelligent Ignorance. We had a conversation with Mr. Josue Ortega, campaigning and running for. He's a candidate for the 6th District, Wilmington City Council. And, you know, we want to thank him for being with us. We're going to try to have some more with us. But like I always say, y'all, it's not about who knows you. No, I'm sorry. It's not about who you know.
Bring that back.
It's been a while. It's not about who you know. It's about who knows you. So get out there, market yourself, meet some people, and make some things happen. And with all that being said, we love y'all for loving us. We out of here. We'll catch y'all next time on Intelligent Ignorance. We'll talk to y'all next time. Peace.
Peace.